Hi guys. I'm feeling a lot better. I apologize the last live feed if I seemed perturbed or out of sorts. My back has really been screwed up. I was taking muscle relaxers. I'm feeling a lot better today. I actually went to acupuncture the other day and it helped a lot. If any of you guys have ever had a lot of back pain, my back was locked up basically from my tailbone to the middle of my shoulder blades. It wasn't sciatica, it was just a locked up back. And I apologize. I didn't get much work done this week, but I also didn't get much in this week. So I am back up and running. I have got a video that I'm going to shoot about the F95, the Shirogorov F95, model F95. It's a nice knife. There's just not much in the way of differences between it and the Hati. So we're going to get into that on the actual video. It's a nice knife. It's a great knife. It's on loan from my buddy Matt. So I also got in that Grayman. Now, I wanted to explain. So I knew that I had a Grayman coming, a Grayman knife coming, and I completely forgot that the guy that was going to send me one, Andy, was having the guy that he bought it from send it directly to me. So I have some work to do on that. We're going to see what I can do. It's not in my pocket. I had it in my pocket a little bit ago. I think I put it in the car. It's a really nice knife. It just has some minor issues, and somebody went at it with a wicked edge. Now I'm going to be able to fix it and maybe do some small modifications and stuff to it. But if you guys hang on just a second, I will go grab that and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about and why I get frustrated with people that buy a wicked edge and immediately think, oh, I can do whatever I want and I can do this and I can still sell this knife even though I've screwed it up. It just gets frustrating. I see a lot of knives come from people that have taken this fixtured system and immediately think that they know exactly what they're doing and they screw up some really nice knives. A lot of times it's correctable. 99% of the time it's a fully correctable thing. But I want to show you what I'm talking about, so hang on just a second.
So as you guys know, I had stopped doing this in my kitchen because it was awkward, but I just wanted to show you guys real quick what I'm talking about. Oh, a little bit of rock on that. So if you look on this, you see how this guy has just, he didn't even, like he did all that work and still didn't get that area sharp. So that area right there, that's not even a live edge right there. And then the entire tip on this knife is just completely gone. Now, granted, he didn't pay full price for this knife. He got it at a discount because it had, you know. But this knife is a very nice knife that has got just some minor issues that this guy went at real hard with a very shallow, very, very thin edge on this. And it is 20 CV. So it can handle a fairly thin, but I think that edge is still just a little thin. So we are going to try and correct that today. I'm going to try and cut in a notch and not get down in here. The issue with that is I can cut in a choil on this to take this whole area here out, a small choil, but I have to be really careful because that in turn sets the close position on this knife. Take off too much material, I'm going to start getting into those barrel spacers. So the plan is just to take off enough material here to not get down into that groove there where that locks up. So, because you screw that up and then you screw up your detent. Because if you take it past, your detent ball will actually hit into its little socket, into its hole, and then pass. So, and then whoever he bought this from said there was some lock stick issues. I'm not really seeing any lock stick. They did try the trick with the magic marker, but I don't think that is even an issue. There's not really any stick. I've got knives with steel lock bar inserts that have more stick than that. So, all right, guys, that's about it. I just got a thing from Anthony. Hang on just a sec.
So Anthony, the gentleman that won the giveaway knife, has reached out to me. I'm going to probably do a Viper for him. For you guys that don't know, I have Vipers that are available pretty much. I can do 5 at a time heat treat, as long as Elliot's not doing heat treat and things like that. I'm actually going to heat treat a bunch of them tomorrow. Anthony's one of them. I'm going to get them prepped today and do heat treat tomorrow. But yeah, if you guys are interested in Vipers, like I said, the price did drop. The video that I had put up about that, for some reason, did not load properly, and it went down. It was a live feed, but basically, due to the change in the process, I'm not going to hand sharpen all of them anymore. If you want them hand sharpened, it adds additional cost, closer to $35 or $40, because they are a pain to hand sharpen. I have the equipment to do it now where I can use the leather belt, and they come out great. As a matter of fact, if you hang on just a second.
All right, guys. This is the second time I'm shooting this because I knocked my gimbal over and made it go crazy. I pushed it over and it went all nuts. But as you can see, what I was saying is, this is the way the edges are coming out. I actually have some damage to mine. I dropped mine the other day. There's some damage at the tip and the heel. I dropped it on concrete from about waist high. I was cutting some stuff, but let me zoom back out. And you can see, like I said, this edge, and mine gets a lot of use. Mine's kind of beat up. There you go. You can see where I chipped it. This edge is just ridiculous sharp. And I think that it actually is better than when I do them by hand. My daughters I did by hand, and there's spots on all of them. I do them because the pressure isn't consistent. When I hand sharpen them, you can see how this has kind of curve to it, to the edge. And that's because I can't, when I'm hand sharpening them, I can't keep an even pressure the way I want it because I'm doing it by hand. When I do these on the belt, so I do them to, this one was to 220 and then stropped on that belt with compound, and it is really sharp. It's better than most factory edges that I'm seeing. So I don't see it as being an issue. Like I said, if you still want them hand sharpened, I do it, but it's gonna be a price. Because this was one of the things that belt was one of the things that led to a reduction in the work, the physical labor of this, because these things take, I've had some of these take an hour and a half, 2 hours to sharpen, just one, and I spend the whole day. I got a bunch of them I got to sharpen.
So that's one of the things in business, constantly trying to find changes in processes and things like that. Some of them I stumbled upon by accident. Some of them have been intentionally added, but wrong direction. But what I'm saying is, that's my goal. Is I want to still be able to do things, but at a reduced price, because that's what I want for you guys. I want to be able to do some of this, and it would be great if, you know, I think the price point at starting at 110. So I basically shaved $20 off the cost of each knife. The cost, the $20 was incurred to it to begin with, because they originally were like 110, was the sheath that I had to add, because I'm having to send them to Florida to get them done. Matt Braley does an awesome job down there at Armitage Carry. But the thing is, it is an additional cost, and I have to equate for that. So now that I'm not spending hours sharpening each one of these, it's, you know, that price gets, that reduction in labor and time means that I basically monetarily I have to equate for my time I'm spending on things. So that means that I have a chance to offer that $20. Basically, you guys aren't paying for the sheaths anymore, because I'm not spending an entire day sharpening. And it's a feasible thing that I wanted to be able to do for you guys, but it didn't happen until Cody. I mean, I was gonna buy it anyway, but Cody Moore added the cost of a leather belt to the price of his knife, which is done. And it's probably going to get shipped out first thing Monday. I still want to go through them and make sure that there's nothing wrong with ceramic and things like that, because, you know, the knives are done by Matt, and there's always a chance that in the pressing process there could be some minor issues. I've had a couple come back with some minor, and I don't think it's anything Matt's doing. I honestly think it's something that happens in shipping. I think because there's a few of them, and even though they're wrapped in, he sends them in baggies like this, even though they're like that, they still rattle up against each other, even in the case the way they are. So last little bit of information, I put that Damascus steel knife up, and it didn't even wait. There's a guy named Robert in Ontario, Canada. I've talked to him a few times on the phone. Really nice guy. Lives on a reservation up there in Ontario. He wanted that knife. And I basically, you know, I told him, I was like, that's fine. If you want that knife, we can do that. So that knife is gone. It's gone. And there will never be another one of them. There'll be knives similar to it, but not that Damascus. I'm never going to do another knife in Alabama Damascus. I may do another knife very similar in style and stuff, but never going to do another one that is done in Damascus. So that's it, guys. I will do a video about this Shirogorov. I promise. I've had Matt's knife since last Friday and have not even, I've been carrying it. I ain't gonna lie to you, I've been carrying it, but I have not had a chance to do a video, and I haven't done any live feeds. So I apologize, guys. I love all you guys. I'm sorry if the live feed sounded like I was being an asshole. You guys don't have to. Let me reiterate. So before I close this, you guys do not have to provide me a prepaid shipping label for return. You don't, but it will expedite because I can catch the postman Monday. Well, I don't know. I haven't gotten anything in. I'm not going to be busy this Monday, so I'm probably going to be making knives. Usually Monday, Tuesday, part of Wednesday, I'm here and I'm working. My bench has been full. This is the first week in a while that I haven't had a bunch of stuff come in. So I'm going to make some knives. But like I was saying, the fact is, if I'm here and I'm working, I can catch the postman and just hand him off a package that already has a prepaid label. I don't want to have to do the click and ship. I don't have a printer. I don't want to have to get a printer right now. It's not something I even need. Like if I was only doing it for click and ship, it would not, the benefit would not weigh the cost because I think my printer is completely broke. So with that being said, you don't have to. It just will expedite it because I'm pretty sure I was talking with my wife. It would make sense if she can't go to the post office for me an extra day, probably Wednesday, middle of the week. If you sent your stuff, if it's done from Wednesday to Wednesday, you know, it just makes it easier on me. And it only adds a couple days to you guys' wait time. I'm still getting my stuff turned around fairly quickly. I have had a couple days through some you know, hitching a giddy up. But you don't have to do. But what I do want you guys to do, please, please, please. The whole thing with this Grayman was a misunderstanding. I forgot that the guy was sending it directly to me for me to look at for Andy. But when you send something, please put a note in so that I can remember what it is. You got to remember how many live feeds you've seen me do, how many knives come in. I can't remember what you wanted, and especially you're sending me 3 and 4 knives. I'm not going to remember you want 8,000 grit on this one, 10,000 grit on this one, and this one at 3. Please just put a note in so that I know what you want. And if you're gonna send me an email, I would prefer an email followed up by a text or email with your full contact. I want you guys' full contact info when you send me the message so I know who I'm talking to. I can add you to my contacts. You don't get lost in a text stream as a 1858 number or a 1862, you know, 17. I don't know who lives in 740 except my mom and my cousin Jake and some other people that I do know. But other than that, yeah, it's really hard for me to keep track of what everybody wants. And sometimes you guys are hard to get a hold of. And I love interacting with all of my clients, but the fact is, a lot of times you guys have way different schedules than I do. And it makes it really hard and really stressful for me trying to, you know, I want to get this guy's knife done. I want to get done. I can't get a hold of him. I can't get a hold of him. Just put a note in. Makes it so much easier. We don't have to really do any interaction except me sending you a note saying, hey, your knife's done. This is what it costs. This is what you PayPal me. And I can start sending, if I have emails, I can send an invoice through PayPal. It's not that hard. So, all right, guys. Already made this longer than I wanted. I have to edit it and get it up before I leave. I have to take the dog to the vet. Then I'm going to drop the dog off here at the house, go back up to Elliot's. I'm not even going to get to Elliot's till probably 2:30. So, all right, guys, take it easy. I'll talk to you next time. Take it easy, and I'll see you around. All that other crap I always say, but I do appreciate it. My back feels a lot better. I'm in a much better mood. You guys, later.